No shit, no shit, Sherlock should be the name of the game because Watson just keeps saying it over and over and over. The coolest thing. I'm lying, of course. I'm playing Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. It's an Xbox 360 game on the Xbox 360. I'm actually a big fan. I may look like a human, but I'm actually a big fan of Sherlock Holmes. I've watched the series with Cumberbatch, you know, the BBC one. I watched that and I like puzzles. I like puzzle games, even though I suck at puzzle games. But the feeling of satisfaction after you've spent so much time looking up a walkthrough and finding the solution, it's incomparable. I'm not great. This game is a sort of point and click adventure. I mean, it's more like a walk and then click on something adventure. It's a walk and click. Sometimes you're playing as Sherlock Holmes and sometimes you're playing as Watson. The voice acting is pretty good. I mean, Sherlock Holmes and Watson sound like you'd expect them to. You know, the kind of gentleman that would get pulverized if he spoke like this in Ipswich. I say there, boy. You had the time, old fellow. What you say, cunt? Making fun of Ipswich, are ya? No trouble from here, sir. Just run, Watson, run! Saying that, the lines do kind of sound forced, especially from the NPC. But it adds to the comedy, and I think comedy is very important when you're solving a murder. Watson finds out about the first murder case in the newspaper.
Ah, it would seem that the investigation is advancing, Holmes. Yesterday's Star said that a suspect is in the hands of the police, a man with a rather sinister reputation.
I was about to join you in your optimistic outlook until you informed me that the good news came from the press, Watson.
But surely they wouldn't invent the fact that the police are holding a suspect, or the acts that are attributed to him.
The media? Lying? No way. So Jack's first victim in the story is Polly Nichols. And I watched a documentary on Jack the Ripper, and it's actually following the real victims of Jack the Ripper. The first victim was Polly Nichols, a prostitute working her magic in a alleyway called Bucks Row. It's a quiet, dark street which still exists in London, or wherever this is set. In England. England. That's where Trev's from, isn't it? England? No, I'm not from England. Trev facts. Trev facts. Jack the Ripper comes across the prostitute. Bad choice of words. Jack the Ripper approaches the prostitute, Polly Nichols, as if he's a client, and then strangles her. Then, after she's dead, he cuts her throat and cuts her stomach, which is all quite vexing for the young dame and quite unorthodox in contrast to her usual nightly routine. Then Jacko steals away into the night without paying, which pretty sure it's illegal. So Shirley Holmes, oh Shirlsy boy, finds out about this case via his partner in love, Watson, who calls himself a doctor. I've yet to see the proof. And and so he's like, oh, this intrigues me, dear boy. I'm going to investigate. Yes, I'm quite smart.
I found the map, Holmes, and I was able to locate the Whitechapel police station.
Congratulations, Watson. Come, the game is afoot.
Nah, it's a game. They start off at the police station, annoying the officer who's sitting at his desk without an inside to his mouth.
Sherlock Holmes? The detective that I read about in the papers? Well, that's a treat, that is. You come about the Buck Road case, have you?
He tells him to piss off and find his lost bag, which he doesn't have time to find himself because he's too busy, obviously.
Some news, Doctor? Well, goodbye.
After talking to an owner of a boarding house, they end up on an errand to find another harlot that they know, a friend of theirs, whose uncle is sick. So they end up trying to help this uncle. It's just an errand after an errand. We also find out Sherlock Holmes is paying children to be his spies. So the kid tells them where to find the sick uncle. And I'm left wondering, why the fuck is Sherlock Holmes paying children to spy for him?
He is in a critical state, Holmes. He has barely a month left.
Is there a way, dear Doctor, to ensure that this last month passes in silence?
Really, Holmes?
So they cure the uncle. You know, Dr. Watson is a doctor. In turn, they find the police officer's bag that he lost. You bring it back to him, and then you're given your first puzzle, opening the police's bag. I keep saying policeman's bag that he can't remember how to open. Now, I'm starting to get a bit suspicious about this inspector. I think might be a sorcerer. Is that a coat on a chair? Or was that chair a man once? As you walk around London, you'll come across all these NPCs just going about their business, and you can talk to them. Some of them are pretty busy.
Excuse me, my good man.
Now time to chat, I've got business, got it?
And some of them are just plain rude.
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
Why must you be so mean to me?
There's a lot of walking around to do, and soon enough you're going to become fully aware of how your character sounds when he walks. Now, I'm not sure if all Englishmen sound like a trotting thoroughbred when they walk. So, the best thing about this game and walking around your environment is the fact that you can fast travel, because the environment is drab and crap. It looks like a scab. But the interiors of the game and the places you get to visit are actually pretty nice and well designed. At one point of the game, you get to visit an old English bordello, where you'll find vulgar pictures hung on the wall.
These paintings are suggestive, at the very least.
And you'll see vile acts of people sitting and talking.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my dear man.
Will you?
Yes.
So eventually you get to your next murder case, and things get gruesome from now on. I think Jack the Ripper earns his title in this next case.
The stomach has been entirely opened and... oh, my God! A number of organs have been removed.
So you get to explore the motives behind the murder, and you get to reconstruct exactly how the murder took place, at what time as well, who was involved, and all this sort of stuff. And that's a puzzle in itself. They create this little mini game puzzle thing, and you can deduct the situation before you. It's actually quite cool and fun if you like that sort of stuff. But yeah, Jack the Ripper is he's a bit crazy. So you go around and you start questioning more people.
By the way, have you heard of a Dr. Tumblety? No. Is it important? Yes. Well, no, maybe. Actually, I don't know.
Can you repeat the question? Oh, and here's another doctor you get to talk to.
Nevertheless, you must have proof of what you claim. I will show you all of the knobs that we have here.
I gotta grow the fuck up. And some new characters introduce themselves as well. If you like this kind of almost point and click, puzzly, narrative, mystery, murder, Sherlock Holmes kind of game, and for some sick reason you're into Jack the Ripper, you'll like it. It's pretty cheap too. I personally do like puzzles, and I do like Sherlock Holmes, but I suck at puzzles because I have a pea-sized brain the size of something very small. The gameplay is pretty minimal, but I don't know what you would expect from a Sherlock Holmes game. It's about the story, it's about the characters, it's about the mystery, and about the way this guy talks.
How do we tell you I'm a bit befuddled about the times that I told them? But it can't be so. I knows what I sees and what I don't sees that morning.
I want to know him. Anyway, that's the game. I think at the point it just kind of goes around and around. Like, I guess, you case after case, you solve the case and you get to unravel the mystery. That's great. So it's cheap. I mean, the game is so cheap. It's not funny. I don't know why you'd find an expensive game a funny event. Get it, play it, or don't. It's up to you, not up to me. You do whatever you want in your life. As long as your government says so. It gets a 7.5 out of 10. Why? Because it's my channel. Please subscribe, or if you're watching on Odyssey, follow me. That was a good review. I did well there. Didn't I? Was that all I was needed for?
There's been another case of underwear being found in someone's living room.
What, again? Well, let's go investigate then, Watson. This is a job for Sherlock Holmes. Is this it? Is this the right one? Yeah. Oh, Sherlock Holmes. Thanks for coming. You're welcome. Can we come in? It's my friend Watson, by the way. He's a doctor. Yeah. Sure, come in. The underwear is just over there. Oh yeah, it's over there, Watson. Ah, see? It says Jack Watson. Well, it just says Jack, not Jack Watson.
What does that mean?
It means... Oh, I know what it means. Come, Watson. Let's go home and think about what we saw today. What are you doing, Sherlock? I'm thinking, Watson. I'm thinking. I know who Jack the Stripper is. And I know just how to prove it. Well, come, Watson. We need to go back to the house we were at before. Is that good? Here we are again, Watson. Mr. Holmes, you're back. Call me Trev. You guys call me Trev. Do you mind if we come in again? Okay, but I was about to leave for work. What do you do for work? I'm a construction worker. I work in construction. Ah, yeah? What happens if I do this? Watson, how do I? Then I play this.
Watson, who else would start stripping at the sound of that music? Nobody else but Jack the Stripper.
Preposterous! I'm not Jack the Stripper. Get out of my house now. I'm calling the police. I need the police this instant.
Check out this bloke. Watson, that was fast.
Now what's going on here?
Shit. That's it, Jack the Stripper. You're coming with me. We're going to take you down to the police station. Right now. Coming with me, Jack the Stripper. Your days of leaving knickers around all over the place are over.
Well, what are we going to do now?
I'm going to take them to the police station and they're going to do whatever they need to do.
Sherlock Holmes, where's your magnifying glass?
Oh. I left it inside.
Is there a way, dear Doctor, to ensure that this last month passes in silence?
Really, Holmes,